Hello, everyone. How are you today? So, the title of this video is Erotica, God, and Escape. I have been looking at various YouTube videos, as you all probably know, I've mentioned this before, because I am a content creator and I'm looking for, to hear what other people are talking about. I'm looking to see exactly how YouTube works because I'm really not sure. And I don't want to sit there and read a bunch of stuff. I just want to see it, right, and hear how they interact. Well, I'm doing this, and I'm in all kinds of groups. So some of the really sophisticated speeches, TED Talks, and formal videos on training and things like that. And then I'm in some of the most ratchet groups you can imagine. Right? They're just beef with everybody, all kinds of craziness going on. And I'm noticing something. Now, most of the people in the ratchet group are, they look like me. They're other Black people, other Black YouTube content creators. And because I love my folks. And, I want to see how they do it. I want to see how they're using their cultural capital to help move themselves along in what do you call it? In the increase their social mobility, right? Okay, and what I notice in these groups is that everything goes back to the Bible. You could be talking about dick pics and people doing there's this one thing, these people came to DC and they're explicitly explaining how they had everything, right? But it all goes back to the Bible, and folks are arguing who's right, doing it right, you're not really a pastor, that's not how you pray, all that stuff, right? And then I'm like, why? Like why? Okay. Years ago, I loved, I've always loved reading, always. When I go to school, I would go right to the library. As soon as it opened, I would just be in there reading my library book until the bell rang for me to go to my first class. And what I was reading, I loved romance novels. I would read them over and over, and couldn't wait until the library got a new one. So I just loved them. My favorite authors were, and as I got older, that didn't change. I got into erotica. Erotica is really good. It's really explicit, like that explicit shit, right? Really, really explicit. I loved reading that stuff. But my favorite authors were, I don't even know, Gina Showalter. What's this other chick's name? J.R. Ward. She writes erotica about vampires and all that's still really good. But I would love those books, and I could not wait to get some place where I could read it. It didn't matter what the hell was going on. On my mind was getting this book, sitting down, reading it, immersing myself in the story, feeling what the characters felt, sad when it ended. And, I was just really, really into these books. And I'm not anymore, which is weird for me. Just so I took a trip to Oklahoma to see my mom in May. And, I bought a book on my Kindle so I can read it on a plane. It was like a 3-hour plane ride. And I couldn't get in. Didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, okay. So when I was reading those books, just could not wait to get there and stop what I'm doing. Hurry up. I got to get home so I can read my book, all that stuff. I wanted to be somewhere else. Like whatever was going on in life wasn't ideal. Like I wasn't as happy in reality as I was when I was reading these books and sharing somebody else's reality or story, and you know, making it my own, being immersed in that. So, and that's where all that came from. You know, I don't want to be here. I want to be Cheryl, you know, the person who, you know, can't be married for very long, the person who has bills, who's always worried about paying something. You know, I didn't want to be her. Like, she's, what kind of story? That's a sad, I don't want that. You know, there's no excitement there. You know, nothing good is really happening. It's depressing. You know, I don't want to be that. I want to be here in 1865 with this lady who's met this wonderful person. And I know that this story is going to turn out great. They're going to fall in love and all this other kind of stuff. They're going to have some drama, but people are going to come out of it. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be in that story, right? Because this one was crap. So what I'm wondering is that why everywhere I turn, especially in my community, and I only say especially in mine because that's where I hang out the most, right? We are always going back to Bible stories, to what God said and how this happened, and Job made it through, and God tested him, and everything is going to be all right in heaven and all that stuff, right? Could it be because this is not enough? Whatever this is, it's not enough. It's not ideal. There's something better. So, you know, until I get there, let me immerse myself in this Bible and these stories and all of these things that are happening so that I can feel like, you know, I can eventually be, you know, be a better person, or it's possible for me to actually have genuine feelings of joy and excitement. Because I feel that when I'm reading these books, I feel that when I'm reading these stories, I actually feel joy and excitement and stuff. And I like that. Okay. And when I'm not immersed in that book, I'm back in this life, you know, and it's awful. So having been a Christian and having been in the Bible and done all that stuff is kind of fading a little bit, but I think I get it, you know, from, if that's the case, I think back on it. I remember, you know, when things are going horribly, going to this story of a savior helps. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it helps, right? It helps. But what I eventually found was that, at least for me, that's no way to live. Okay, because I couldn't grow into whatever possibility there was for me to grow into if I had to stay in this place and go to this story of a savior, you know, to feel like, oh, okay, when that happens, everything is going to be okay. It was just, it's stifling. Like there was nowhere for me to go. I had to stay here, right? It's kind of like I had to be a sinner. I had to be unworthy. I had to be all those things if I was going to get this other feeling of hope and joy and peace and expectation and all that, you know, because if I already feel okay, if I already see that, you know, I'm fine, then I don't need that story, right? I don't need, so right now I have no desire whatsoever to read erotic romance novels, none, which is, I'm telling you, it's super weird for me because I love these fucking stories, you know, and I mean it like that. I loved them. I loved reading them. I would run over again. And now there's just no desire at all. None. And it's weird, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's just what it is, you know, and I have no desire to read Bible stories, you know. And so when I'm listening to these people on YouTube keep going back to that, it's like, you know, they were reading a J.R. romance novel or something, and they keep going back to that story of the vampires as they're talking, you know, to give them hope and saying, oh, that's not how you talk about the vampires. You got to do it this way, you know, and you're not. that's the way it seems to me. It's like, huh? It's like, what are you talking about? You know, what does this have to do with what's going on in real life? I don't get it, you know? So that's something, yeah, I myself noticing that, you know, it's standing out to me now. And, you know, I can't engage in that conversation, you know? So I get, when they start talking about that stuff, I'm like, okay, I give it a minute. And then if they're still, I'm on to something else, you know, because I feel like I just can't engage with that anymore, you know, and talk about is really here. Like if it's, you know, I just, yeah, that's me. All right. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that. But these, I mean, these YouTube channels, YouTube, I tell you, it's like another world. It really, really is. There's some shit going down on YouTube, y'all, like for real, for real. And it doesn't just stay on YouTube. You know, people calling the police, the FBI is investigating shit. I mean, it's crazy. But I am learning a lot about being a content creator and actually getting in there and doing what I need to do. You know, I'm learning a new language, subs, you know, subs are YouTube subscribers. I love the fact that we're called content creators. I absolutely love that, you know, but yeah, I'm having fun. Like it's really nice. And so as I know kinds of things, I just think about this stuff, like, you know, going throughout my day in the day to day, you know, what does this mean for me with this new perspective? You know, because I've said before, I fire God every day. I'm telling you, every day. And I had a conversation with my sister yesterday about that. Right. And I was saying, this is for me, religion thing is gone. So the religion is out the door. That's done. Okay. But firing God is still something I do every day because God is anything I can't question. All right. It's anything where I am absolutely right, you know, and I don't care what you say. This is it. Science said it, you know, whoever said it or whatever. Any place where I cannot be wrong, that's my God. And if I want to continue to grow and mature, I have to do the grown up and mature thing, which is ask questions. That's the grown up and mature thing to do, is to ask questions. Right? All right. Let's have tonight, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Bye.